Here's Thompson with the fadeaway. Oh,
Goodness.
a 2-on-1. Amaker with the floater. The follow by Dawkins.
That's a guard.
Hey, I'm Billy Baldwin, and on this edition of CSTV's Retrovision, we bring you the 1985 preseason NIT championship. Duke and Kansas squaring off in what would end up being a preview for another tournament later in that year. But we'll have more on that in a bit. The Blue Devils were coming off a one-point victory over St. John's in the semifinal thanks to a Johnny Dawkins fadeaway jumper. Dawkins looking to pick up right where he left off the year before when he was a consensus All-America selection. He didn't have to do it alone, however, as the Blue Devils were loaded with talent, including Mark Allery, Tommy Amaker, freshman Danny Ferry, and of course, Coach K running the show. Their opponent for the tournament final was a Kansas Jayhawk club fresh off a semifinal win over Louisville 2 days before. After 2 straight losing seasons, the Jayhawks got back on track in '83 when Larry Brown assumed the reins and took the team to the NCAA tournament in his first season. 1 year later, Danny Manning, the most heralded freshman in school history since Wilt Chamberlain, came aboard. The '85-'86 squad was loaded and ready to make a major move. So let's get out to Madison Square Garden for Duke and Kansas, right here on CSTV's Retrovision.
Mike Krzyzewski, the 38-year-old head coach of the Blue Devils of Duke. His record at Duke, and this is 5th year. Prior to that, he served at West Point. And, of course, the much-traveled Larry Brown.
Little warm welcome for Larry. Some Net fans in the audience, but as we look at the officials, Larry's won every place he's been.
Jody Sylvester, Jim Burr, and Gene Mungie, the officials for tonight's Big Apple Classic Final. The first, I think, of many Big Apples to come. It's Allery of Duke wins the draw. Henderson, Amaker, Dawkins, Ferry, and Allery, the starting 5 for the Blue Devils. Is Dawkins, the star of Friday night. Henderson going skyward for the rebound.
2 pretty good man-to-man teams.
Kellogg, Thompson, Manning, Hunter, and Dreiling for Kansas. Amaker with the running one-hander, doesn't get the roll, and the rebound to Kansas. Cedric Cutter intercepted pass of Hunter's by Allery. And right back up the floor, and a good interception by Cedric Hunter to prevent the fast break.
Now, Mark Allery did a great job spotting the basketball. Full sprint, able to look back.
Ron Kellogg, number 44 for Kansas, the All-America candidate. And a quick look at Pete Gaudette, assistant coach of Duke. Been with Krzyzewski for about 9 of the 10 years. He's been a head coach. Foul is going to be on Allery. Away from the play as he fouls Ron Kellogg.
Of course, Mike Krzyzewski quiet. Allery can't afford many fouls without Jay Bilas. They're not as deep. They can't rotate. They can't play bigger. So it's a problem for him. What you might look for with Duke now is in their man-to-man, they're going to try and stop Greg Dreiling from reversing the ball. Larry Brown's club kicks it from one side of the floor to the other very well.
This is Cedric Hunter being shadowed by Amaker. Behind the screen, Thompson. He had 25 on Friday against Louisville, and he's off to a quick start tonight. Jayhawks take the lead. As you look at David Henderson. What a pretty drive by Henderson. Does not get it to go. Allery with the save, but the interception by Hunter. A 3-on-1 fast break for Kansas. He goes right, and the lay-in by Ron Kellogg.
You know, it doesn't show in the box score, but Calvin Thompson filled the third lane, really created the pass, put the pressure on Tommy Amaker.
Kansas off to a 4-0 lead. Very long range. Doesn't get it to go, but Henderson right there again. He gets fouled this time, I believe, by Dreiling. Greg Dreiling, the man in the middle. Mike Krzyzewski, although down 4-0, will have his man at the free throw line.
I would imagine Danny Ferry relaxed yesterday. Knew he had another opportunity tonight. I look for him to have a good basketball game. He struggled the other night, as any freshman would.
Well, you come into this building, I think that's part of it. It's got to be a little nerve-wracking to walk into Madison Square Garden for your first appearance, particularly as a freshman, and not to have a little bit of goosebumps.
Well, it's not the size of the game. It's just that the game happens to be here, I think.
That's it. Henderson cans them both. That's a 4-2 game.
Duke will man-to-man and try and make Kansas start their offense out further. Lets their big people defensively get in better position.
Here's Cedric Hunter. He's a catalyst on the offense. Thompson, 35, guarded by Henderson.
Manning in the low post.
Oh, Manning gets away, and a nice dish. Good defensive play, though, by Ferry. Yeah, he's going to give the foul, but if he doesn't, it's 2 points.
Greg Drelling should take the Manning family on vacation because Danny Manning finds him. I don't know the rule, but I'm sure Larry Brown says to Greg Drelling, when Manning gets the basketball in the 3-second area, get to the hole and keep your hands up.
Manning is what we call the locator file.
I mentioned Friday, he's a point center. Of course, they took advantage. Pretty good recognition by Kansas with that mismatch down low.
Second team AP All-America, Greg Dreiling. There's a lot of Greg Dreiling out there. 7'1", 250-pound senior from Wichita. He had a rather vociferous slam dunk on Friday night against Louis, although he showed at the top of the show.
Well, he seems to know how to take advantage of his abilities. He doesn't do things he can't handle.
Amaker. And the interception by the Jayhawks. Good play by Tommy Amaker. He held his ground, took the charge, knowing he was going to get hit, and it worked out.
I'll tell you, Cedric Hunter is going to remember Tommy Amaker because he rags a man, he reads things very well, and here the pass really the problem. Manning should not have given the ball up. He has to read ahead so that the charge does not occur.
Henderson was the logical man to take the pass. Here's Dawkins with the behind-the-back dribble, has it taken away. It's a foot race. Hunter with the reverse on Allery. It doesn't go, but it's still KU ball in the paint. Thompson, the basketball steps out. Too many steps on Calvin Thompson.
I'll tell you what, Calvin Thompson made a great move. Jody Sylvester wants to get on the scoreboard. I agree with Larry on that one. Good, strong power move to the goal.
I think he hit it right on the nose once he get on television.
Jody's on a few times a year. Slow down.
Allery, short. Dreiling rebound. The quick pass to Hunter.
Good balance by Duke.
Here's Calvin Thompson. Pounded by Henderson.
A lot of motion by Kansas. Passing game. Larry ran this in the NBA as well. Good post side.
Dreiling, it goes and a foul.
This is gorgeous post offense by Greg Drelling. He took one passing lane. It was taken away from him. Reversed on the man, and this is something they've been trying to stop. Duke would like to not let the ball be kicked from side to side. They don't want that ball. Kansas reverses very now. Drailing with great footwork. Watch the spin and curl. Locks his man. Moves to the goal. Good looking pass.
And the foul on Mark Allery. Dreiling to the line. Billy King has just come into the ball game for Duke, and Allery goes to the bench. Dreiling does not make the three-point play, and it is the mentioned Billy King with the rebound. So it's an 8-2 Kansas lead. Dreiling with half of the Jayhawk points. Boy, what tradition Kansas has had since the days of Paul Gallen.
Good non-call, too. Manning did that like a senior, huh?
Here's Dawkins in the right corner, guarded by Cedric Hunter. King finding Ferry, wants to put the move on. Amaker with the fake. Good idea by Ferry, keeping the ball moving. A lot of good movement on both sides of the floor.
Both run similar sets. A lot of motion, a lot of screening away. Kansas, however, does back screen off the basketball.
Henderson to trigger the inbound. Henderson with the baseline jumper. Henderson has all 4 of Duke's points.
Kansas zoning the out-of-bounds paid for it. Kick right back to the inbounder.
Thompson inside on the turnaround to Manning. Danny Manning, the sophomore from Lawrence.
And Billy King on him, the best defensive man on Duke. He can play in and out. Danny Manning.
Ferry. Right back to Ferry. Moves in closer, and Kansas.
All right, Danny, on the board. Pretty good confidence, though, huh? Empty, still looking for it.
Playing out a little further than I expected him to.
Well, he's going to drag the big man out, Drailing.
Backdoor play to Manning, and a jam.
They do that beautifully. Empty to back, show. Sturgeon does it as well. Also, Turgeon, excuse me, who we'll see a little bit later, but Cedric Hunter, nice-looking delivery.
Calvin Thompson with 4 points so far.
A little out of control. They got a push off. See, Johnny Dawkins will extend that arm as he lost control.
Retrovision on CSTV is brought to you by Miller. There's good enough, and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
I was at this party with Jim when he realized his Western wear was drawing the wrong kind of attention. So, to make up for it, he came up with a multi-beer strategy. Basically, it's making your way through a crowd with a couple of Miller High Lifes. Gives people the idea you got something going on. Connections, no matter what kind of hat you wear.
New! Get the best jokes directly on your cell phone. They're hilarious. Write a text message with the word joke to the number 85050 and press send. They're so funny. We will make your sense of humor even better. Impress your friends. Make them laugh. Let the joke of the day be your joy of the day. Do it now. Grab your phone and text the message joke to the number 85050.
Play ball, shut up and play ball.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket on Selection Sunday. Be there for the one show that takes you deeper into the madness. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
Shut up and play ball. They come from all over the country just to dance the big dance. There was Villanova, Texas, Indiana, Duke and Memphis, Arizona. Spotlight on NC State, but Cinderella might take the crown. ROCK in the USA, ROCK in the USA. Yeah, rockin' in the NCAA.
You'll stand right up and you'll wave your arms and you'll cheer with all of your might. With ACC spirit, we'll make sure you hear it when the crowd lets loose its roar. Behold our brand new scroll. ACC!
Then, now, and always.
15:23 remaining first half. Kansas leading Duke 12-6. First ever meeting for these two schools. Duke and Kansas. Started talking about the Kansas tradition. Fog Allen, what a great career as a head coach he had at Kansas. They even named the indoor arena after a great gentleman. I believe it was Dr. Naismith that first started shooting hoops at Kansas.
Sure did. And of course, one of his players was Adolph Rupp. How about Ralph Miller and Dean Smith also playing there?
Oh, not
Pretty
bad.
fair incubation period.
Wilt the Stilt had a few good games for Kansas as well.
Little zone now, 2-3 by Duke. Different show after the timeout.
Dreiling. And the outlet to Calvin Thompson. Boy, is he hot. Oh.
Strong player, too.
Calvin Thompson, 3 field goals for 6. He's 3 for 3 from the outside. Inside shuffle to Henderson with the trees, and he makes the basket anyway.
Nice pass, too, by Furry. Both clubs really like to pound it in deep. Settle outside.
Henderson has 6 of Duke's 8 points. 14-8, Jayhawks in front. Manning on the turnaround. And King with the rebound, the quick outlet. To Johnny Dawkins, wants it all by himself. Pretty move by Johnny Dawkins.
He can use the glass well. You know, a lot of coaches will switch defenses. Duke with the 2-3. If it's effective, fine. If it's not, they'll chart maybe what Kansas likes to do against the zone. Use it in the second half.
A 4-point Kansas lead. Inside it goes to Manning. He's going to get called for the offensive foul. I don't know. I kind of agree with you on that one. I kind of agree with you on that one. Ferry took a little bit more of a Shakespeare route than maybe Warren.
Smart player will do that defensively, but gee, they're big kids. Let them go. Good turnaround move. Not much contact here. Ferry doing the right thing. Pretty good square up.
Daddy Bob probably taught him that move every time in the backyard by the garage.
I'm sure if his father hit him, he would be on the ground.
Might be in the ground. Inside pass to King. Dawkins comes up with the loose ball alertly, and a foul's going to be called on Greg Dreiling.
Well, I tell you, coaches love to see people who can pass the ball to the post. Danny Ferry twice now able to deliver it to his man in the 3-second lane.
The 5th-ranked Jayhawks of Kansas, the 6th-ranked Blue Devils of Duke. We get a substitution coming into the game. Chris Piper, sophomore from Lawrence, Kansas, replacing Greg Dreiling. Dreiling goes to the bench with 2 personal fouls. Last thing Larry Brown needs is to have Dreiling in foul trouble.
They don't have a lot of size, you're right.
Dawkins to the line for 2 shots. Not the right guy to foul, an 84% free throw shooter. What, did he come alive in the second half against St. John's on Friday night? He had 8 points at halftime and finished with 20.
Some of the shots at the opening that we showed of this ball game, beautiful basketball the other night, and Dawkins with a big-time goal for the winner.
14-12, Jayhawk lead is cut as Duke puts up 4 unanswered points with 13:45 remaining first half. Good deflection by Danny Ferry. He's claiming that it last touched Manning. The officials don't see it that way.
1-3-1 look that time, and Ferry bailed them out with those big arms.
Larry Brown, the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. Told you that he likes living in Lawrence, Kansas.
Well, right now,
well, that's only because of all of the traveling that Larry has done. His frequent flyer ticket must be punched a lot.
Yeah, he is enjoying it.
Here's Manning in the paint. Doesn't go, and the rebound, Amaker comes down with a loose ball.
Manning's one of those guys that looks past first. You know this?
Here's Amaker. Shot wasn't there. Gives off to his backcourt mate.
Nice play.
Pretty roll to Ferry. Shot is short, and Piper with the rebound. Here's the outlet pass to Kellogg. Ahead to Hunter. He misses the shot. Thompson had the rebound. Ferry with a great save. Here comes Dawkins in transition. And a good play the other way by Cedric Hunter. You steal from me, I'll steal it back.
Good help there by Tommy Amaker.
Action getting a little raggedy. Watch out, watch out. The ball is still loose, and it is the big man that comes up with it, Danny Ferry. Love it.
Wild, huh? Pretty good hands and good recoveries both ends.
14-12, we remind you of the score during that altercation on the floor. Kansas in front with 12:35 to play in the half. Amaker with the pull-up.
A little clear for him. Quick feet, great square up.
Amaker scores for the first time tonight, and we're tied at 14.
1-3-1 look again, Howard.
Getting ready for another substitution for the Jayhawks. Archie Marshall getting ready to check in for Kansas. Here's Kellogg. Way off the mark. Last touch by Manning, and it'll be Duke ball. As the substitution coming into the ball game for Duke, number 31, Kevin Strickland in the middle of your screen.
Both clubs able to get good shots, exploiting the defense of the opponent.
Archie Marshall checks into the game. Calvin Thompson is out for Kansas.
No clear out here for Dawkins.
This is Strickland. Ooh. Nice backdoor pass to Dawkins. Strong move to the hoop. Ferry with the follow. And we're going to get a loose ball foul against Billy King, I believe, as he fouled Archie Marshall. With 11:50 remaining, as you look at Mike Krzyzewski, the head coach of Duke, we're tied at 14.
Coach K's troops were down 14-6 early, but an 8-0 run has pulled them even with the Jayhawks once again. There'll be more first-half action from the '85 preseason NIT final when CSTV's Retrovision rolls on.
So nice out here.
Yeah, I used to come out here when I was a kid. Nothing.
No, I definitely heard something.
Look! Who's that?
Let's get out of here! What are you doing? Start the door!
Okay, okay. He does? I'm sorry! Come on, baby!
Think history is a little scary? Then log on to LOC.gov and see how much fun it can be. The Library of Congress at LOC.gov.
Now, from Avacor Hair Regrowth, there's today's Avacor. With Boost, that gives you visibly thicker hair with the first application. With today's Avacor, you get twice the benefits.
Thinning hair results from toxic degeneration of the hair follicle. Avacor targets the hair follicle to reverse hair loss, improve blood flow, and stimulate new hair growth.
But don't just take our word for it.
I decided to fight back. I tried Avacor because they give a money-back guarantee. In just 3 months, my hair came back. I was amazed.
Well, I'm 72 years old, and I can tell you honestly, I have a fuller, healthier head of hair now than I did when I was 18 years old. Avacor really worked.
And remember, Avacor Boost will improve your hair's appearance the day you receive your order.
Call now and find out how you can get 3 months of Avacor free with your order. Call 1-800-824-1524. That's 1-800-824-1524. 1-800-824-1524.
To the people they love and the things they hold in their hearts. For all of this, it's this simple. We need them. They need us. And we need you. The USO. Until everyone comes home. To find out more about the USO and how you can help, visit USO.org.
Well, since Billy Raftery does Nets basketball broadcast, you might know who that man is.
Well, he's highly upset that Dawkins is going to take away his scoring title at Duke. Mike Jaminski off to a great year. His former coach here, Larry Brown. And, of course, a Duke University alum.
Got mixed emotions in, doesn't he? He wants Brown to do well, but not against his Duke team.
No, I think he's rooting for Duke. But Larry Brown, of course, with the Nets won. Amazing ability. Great win over Louisville the other night.
Against an excellent basketball team.
They're going to be very tough come tournament time.
All 4 of the teams that made the semis, I think, will be. St. John surprised a lot of people by getting this far.
Zone has helped Duke, slowed this quick cutting Kansas team down. But watch for Kellogg, the great long jumper.
Here's Kellogg with the long jump. Nice scouting report, Coach.
He can really nail him.
Well, he can really support the color commentators, too.
And he makes him at a 56% number. I think you got to play up. Backdoor.
Backdoor to Dawkins. Did he go up in the air?
Tommy Amaker off the mark. It would have been a goal.
Amaker with the pull-up again. Front iron. Ball kept alive, and it is finally Manning that comes down with a loose ball. Look at this big man handle the ball. Manning ahead. That's Marshall in the game. Here's Kellogg going baseline with the floater.
A little too close for him.
Amaker out of the pack. Sees King on the right side to the basket.
Good defense.
Marshall with the rebound. Here they go the other way. A 3-on-2. Low pass. Amaker will take it the other way. Got Johnny Dawkins for the jumper. And the tip by Ferry.
What a use of the dribble. Dawkins didn't nail the jumper, but Ferry with great hustle. But what a dribble by Dawkins to free himself for that jumper.
That ties it at 16 with 10:20 remaining. There's Allery and Henderson get ready to check back in for the Blue Devils. Manning in the paint.
He starts outside, then he cuts either to the foul line or to the boxes, and he becomes a guard in there. Either makes the shot or dishes.
Danny Manning is everything everybody said, and perhaps a little bit more. At 6'11", he can handle the basketball.
Pretty good recruiting coup by Larry,
yes,
huh?
Indeed.
Getting Ed first. Ed Manning, the father, the assistant coach, and then this young man.
Amaker with a good fake. Dawkins, well, can he drill it or what?
You'll notice Duke does a lot of pump faking. That's out of the Bobby Knight school. All his clubs really get the defender up in the air with a quick move.
You mean Bob Knight?
Well, for you. I told him I'm going to continue the Bobby.
Yeah, just to get him a little big, right?
Well, I'm not married to him.
It's Kellogg. Oh, what can this man do it? Ron Kellogg puts Kansas in front 20-18 with 9:18 remaining in the first half.
That could change Mike Krzyzewski's mind a little bit with the zone. Keep nailing those, and of course, Larry Brown would love to see the man-to-man. He runs some great cuts, some great stuff.
Here's Ferry posting up on Piper with the turnaround. He forced that one. Thought he got Strickland with the rebound. Nice follow, and he missed it. It is Hunter that starts the 2-on-2. He wants it himself, and the dish to lay in by Kellogg.
Nice hands by Duke and pretty good balance. Looked like a breakaway. Dawkins able to get back.
Kansas opens up a 4-point lead. Their biggest lead was 6. Duke has never been in front of this ball game.
1-4.
They're doing all of this with Dreiling on the bench. Kansas running game working very well. Here's Strickland. He had to step for a moment. 20 seconds left in the shot clock. King with a pretty turnaround.
Well, they tried to get King in low. They didn't get him on the box, so he moved out. Good-looking move. Nice move by Billy King, mostly a defensive specialist last year. Had a good night against St. John's with 9 points, good floor games. What impresses me about Billy King, I'll tell you about it in a second. Here's Kellogg with the step on Strickland, and the jump, it goes and a foul. He is tough. You know, this set is very similar to the T game, where the look that North Carolina shows, where they put Manning on the high post and they have the center down on the box. He's able to see the floor and dump it off.
Manning comes out, Piper comes out, 23 Marshall comes out. Dreiling, as you see, is back in the ball game, and he is joined by 6'7" freshman Jerry Johnson. Kellogg now 5 of 7 from the floor. Calvin Thompson's back in the game for the Kansas Jayhawks. 3-point play for Ron Kellogg. Is he having a night or what?
Chris, if he's open, the zone is letting him open, he can convert.
11 points for Kellogg, a 5-point Kansas lead. Billy King with a running one-hander.
Valerie had been out quite a while.
Valerie's been out 7.5 minutes. He's back in the game now with 7:40 to play.
I only have him for 1 foul. How about you?
Valerie, 2 fouls.
Oh, okay.
No wonder. It's Harry with the golden hands, he told me that. Kansas losing control of the ball. The new man in the game, Jerry Johnson.
Hey, college sports fans, the best seat in the house is now in front of your computer. Sign up for CSTV's All Access XXL. Get online for the most up-to-date news, scores, highlights, and best of all, thousands of live games. Now, access to your favorite team or sport is only a click away. Over 200 schools. Find your favorite school on CSTV.com and order today. The ultimate access to everything and anything in college sports.
There are ways you can help ease the stress of our military families. Please visit the website on your screen and do what you can.
For hundreds of years, the game was played by warriors. But it's taken a new generation of warrior to perfect it. This spring on CSTV, experience the perfection of NCAA women's lacrosse. Thursday, March 16th at 7, it's the Spring Fling.
Hammer throw is tough. It isn't just you against a 9-pound ball. It's you against yourself. It's pure concentration, and you have to dig deep inside to find every throw. It's brutal. I had to study biomedical engineering just to relax.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Kansas leads 27-26. This is Turgeon, who we spoke of. There it is. Here's the back door. Another good scouting report for Raftery.
Well, man,
send it in.
Man to man, and did they send it in?
Calvin Thompson with authority.
Off the floor and off the dribble. Pretty good look, huh? High percentage field goal.
Inside pass, the turnaround by Dawkins, and back at you. 29-28. Duke trailing Kansas.
You see Kansas' eyes light up with man-to-man. They run it pretty effectively. Quick cuts. Back screen off the ball.
Calvin Thompson. Move over Henderson. Or get out of the way.
Some strength Mike Krzyzewski wants the foul. You see him in the background. Power move.
6 for 6 for Calvin Thompson. He has 12 points. 31-28 Kansas with less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half of play of this Big Apple Classic final. Henderson with the jumper. You think this is preseason stuff. This looks like late season stuff. The lead to Marshall for the jumper.
Turgeon got rid of it right away. I don't know about that shot, though.
Here's Amaker all the way down. He puts it up smartly, and the foul is going to go against Kansas. Could be Turgeon. Or Thompson. Calvin Thompson, perhaps.
I think they got it before Turgeon set up. Actually, the bump into him.
Senior Weldon Williams on your left, number 40. And that's Quinn Snyder sitting alongside of him, who's going to come into the game, probably to give Amaker a breather. But Williams comes into the game. It will be a non-shooting foul. Amaker goes to the bench. Henderson goes to the bench. Quinn Snyder comes into the game, wearing number 14 for Duke. And Weldon Williams wearing number 40. This is Snyder. Every mom likes a kid like Snyder. I'll tell you that right off the top of my head. I think I was a National Honor Society student as a senior in high school with a 3.9 grade point average.
Should have a lot of problem with the girls, too, huh?
Yeah.
Not a very good-looking boy, is he?
Yeah, on the basketball team at Duke. Here's Dawkins. Doesn't get the iron, but the follow is good by Williams and a foul call.
Kansas got what they wanted, the miss on the jump shot, but good inside position there.
Weldon Williams makes the bucket, gives Duke the lead for the first time tonight.
Well, when he's got floor speed like Duke has, you can take this, you know you're going to balance, send your big guys crashing, good inside position. Williams.
Weldon Williams with a free throw, does not go, and the rebound to Archie Marshall. But a 32-31 Duke lead. The lead pass too far, intended for Danny Manning.
Not a bad look. Judgment wasn't good.
8th turnover against the Jayhawks of Kansas. Snyder running the set play.
Flat 3-2.
Williams isolated, and the jumper short over Piper. The rebound to Calvin Thompson. Here's Turgeon.
So they reverse it right away. Bring it down one way, kick it.
Kellogg, or rather Manning with room.
Will never leave the ball alone.
(32-31) Duke, 3:39 to play in the first half. Baseline jumper, Mark Gallery.
First time he's been able to get outside and be free.
Duke has scored 8 unanswered points, and they have taken a 3-point lead, 34-31. 3:22 to play, first half. Calvin Thompson, he's had a hot hand in the first half.
Oh,
he has not missed. Calvin Thompson is 7 for 7 from the floor.
A little bit of a force, still able to make it.
I've written Thompson's name so many times in the last 3 minutes, you'd think I was his press agent. Snyder inside pass, he's forced it, and Kansas coming up with a turnover. The Duke, that's their 6th. Give it to the man with a hot hand. Here's Manning. He's got the cold hand. Williams with a rebound.
Nice looking move.
34-33 Blue Devils, 2:35 to play first half as Amaker and Henderson come off the bench. Weldon Williams.
Ooh, if he put that one up, I think there would have been a hook out.
Danny Ferry. Kansas making Duke take the outside shot, will not let him inside, and controlling the boards very well. With their big man sitting on the bench, Greg Dreiling. Here's Turgeon. Inside pass to Thompson, the fadeaway, it doesn't go. It took a foul. It took a foul to finally get Thompson to miss. Unbelievable. King comes into the game for Duke, along with Henderson. Larry Brown's team behind right now, 34-33, but Calvin Thompson can put him back in front as Turgeon goes back to the bench.
And that post pass by him on time enabled Thompson to do something. Just a little thing, but boy, does it play a role.
Here's Calvin Thompson. Don't expect him to miss many free throws. He holds the Kansas record of 33 consecutive free throws. Jerry Johnson comes back into the game, number 43 as you see him, replacing Chris Piper for Larry Brown's Jayhawks. Thompson cans them both.
I was at this party with Jim when he realized his Western wear was drawing the wrong kind of attention. So, to make up for it, he came up with a multi-beer strategy. Basically, it's making your way through a crowd with a couple of Miller High Lifes. Gives people the idea you got something going on. Connections, no matter what kind of hat you wear.
With great privilege comes great responsibility. My generation felt that as younger people, and it's time for us to feel that again.
Growing up economically challenged, I understand what it means to be destitute. I understand how it feels to be hungry. You help someone else, it comes around at a time when you might need help.
I like what I do. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. This is a great country. If people were to go ahead and step up to the plate by volunteering or doing something for their fellow man, this country will be greater than it ever was.
Today, our efforts are needed more than ever.
Because as a generation, we do have work to do.
Join thousands by finding which opportunity is best for you.
Lead, inspire, change the world. Again. Call 1-800-424-8867 today or visit www.getinvolved.gov.
Every Tuesday through Saturday, it's Coast to Coach, where CSTV brings you closer to the game than anyone else.
Guys, we got to defend and rebound for 40 minutes.
With the biggest stories from the best coaches.
The leadership has been outstanding.
Tremendous. Coast to Coach, every Tuesday through Saturday. Log on to CSTV.com for a complete schedule.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV.
Welcome back to CSTV's Retrovision, where Calvin Thompson and Ron Kellogg have put on a clinic in the first half for Kansas. Thompson is perfect from the field, going 7 for 7 with 16 points, and Kellogg is close behind him with 11. The two seniors are leading the way in this game, but it was Jayhawks sophomore star Danny Manning who would eventually shine the brightest in the Kansas record books. By the time he graduated, Manning set school records for career points and rebounds. His college career reached its summit in 1988 when he led the Jayhawks to their second ever national championship, scoring 31 points and grabbing 18 rebounds in his final collegiate game. Not a bad way to go out. Manning, Thompson, and Kellogg will all need impressive performances in the next 20 minutes of action. The Jayhawks trail Duke by 3 as the second half is set to begin right here on CSTV's Retro.
Ready to begin the second half of play. The Duke Blue Devils, as you can see, coming out onto the floor. They lead it by 3, 38-35. Keys in the second half, Bill.
Well, this Duke team really bailed out with their zone, kept Allery in the basketball game when they inserted him back in, and Kansas able to take away Duke's inside game. If Duke gets perking inside and also gets Allery to shoot the jump shot a little bit, they can be tough. But right now I think Kansas has the better hand of it because their defense is inhibiting Duke's performance.
How about stopping Calvin Thompson? Can you do it?
Well, Chris, that's the other end.
Thompson having a big half with 16 points. Here's Cedric Hunter looking to take it inside. Kellogg off the pick.
Oh, he doesn't need much room. Kansas is running their offense so well, it's tough. You may have to see more switching by Duke because of the back picks. They're freeing people, Kansas, on their offense.
13 points for Ron Kellogg. It's a one-point game with Duke in front. The alley-oop to Allery inside. The basket counts, and a foul is called on Ron Kellogg.
You know what's intriguing about this game? Maybe the two best passers on the floor are Manning and Furry. You know, both big people that play outside. That was a long lead pass to the post. Great shape up by Allery, but Furry with the gamble pass.
Of course, you all remember, Duke fans do, the job that Allery did in the ACC tournament against Maryland. He had a big night and injured his hip in the late stages of the game, did not play against Georgia Tech, and ultimately that had to cost Duke the ACC final championship. Allery with a three-point play. And the Blue Devils lead by 4, 41-37. We are in the first minute of play, the Big Apple Classic Final.
Good cut and pass. You know, Greg Drailing shaped up and really opened things up for the cut by Kellogg. And, of course, Manning very good at finding people.
Kellogg with 15 points. 2-point game, Duke in front. Ball is glass going off the hand of Danny Manning. And it is Kellogg urging on Manning. Henderson. Nice move by Allery.
Now that particular play saw Kellogg down on the floor. I'd award Allery a shot on that particular play. Got there late. Ooh. Pretty good move again, baseline.
4-point Duke lead. This is Calvin Thompson. What a hot hand he had in the first half.
Tough to defend all the motion here.
Cedric Hunter is fouled as he cuts to the basket by Tommy Amaker.
You know, that matchup, Hunter has handled the ball very well. Mike Krzyzewski, before the game, felt if Amaker could rag him in the backcourt, could help them. But Hunter able to penetrate, keep his dribble.
They match up pretty well. Here's Drailing. Might have taken too many steps and gets the basket.
Nice spin move, though. He was free for quite a while. Hunter never spotted him.
Drailing is now 2 for 2. Total of 6 points on the night. 43-41. Blue Devils of Duke in front. Dawkins with room.
Good cross court.
Remember how quiet he was in the first half against St. John's with 8 points. Came back, scored 12 in the second half. Could see a repeat of that performance.
You had a good point. They're not able to run, which takes a little of his game away.
Turnaround Manning.
And Calvin Thompson showing he can do all things with that post pass to the correct hand.
Duke in front by 2 with 17:45 remaining second half. Henderson on the pass and a good play defensively by Danny Manning.
Now they empty everybody out, Duke, back there, so they can let the man roam box to box. It's not a gamble pass. Oh, Kellogg left Allery all alone and paid for it.
Allery, an excellent shooter from the outside. He is opening up offensively here in the second half. Oh. Allery with 11 points in the game. He only had 7 at halftime.
I could see leaving us alone, but not Mark Allery.
There's Manning right back at you. I said Allery had 7 at halftime. He had 4 at halftime. He now has a total of 11. Here's Henderson with the step. How about that move?
Nice slide by.
Henderson now with 16, and there's a blocking foul called on Amaker of Duke.
I like
Blue Devils wanted the charge.
I think it was a good call. Boy, Hunter pushing that ball, speed dribble up the floor. Tommy Amaker on the move, trying to pick it up.
The non-shooting foul. Cedric Hunter to trigger for the Kansas Jayhawks.
Come on, Kansas!
Here's Calvin Thompson.
A lot of clubs like to zone you out of bounds. Duke did at that time.
Manning on the turnaround. He's hit his last 3. Manning with 10 points. And he's 6 for 6 as well.
4-on-1.
Here's the lead and the nice fast break by the Jayhawks. Kellogg with the lay-in.
Manning does whatever's necessary. Very smooth. Didn't shoot well in the first half. Made a few jumpers at the box. On the break, a nice look.
The Jayhawks are 7 for 7, Bill, in the second half, and they tie it at 49. Manning thought he got ball, and Henderson said, you got ball and part of my right hand.
I think hitting the floor helped, but Danny Manning just contributing so much to this Kansas team. Here the read coming out quickly. Good pump fake. We mentioned Duke doing that. I believe maybe Kellogg underneath or inside. Manning all ball. A bump maybe by somebody else.
Wasn't Manning.
Wasn't him.
Foul. Look at this.
That is clean.
got his hand on Spalding all the way. Henderson makes the front end of the two-shot foul. 17 points for Henderson, make it 18. He is a nice player.
See the rag by Amaker there? Tell you, Hunter's done a marvelous job just handling the ball, setting up the offense.
Ball is thrown away.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, a 9-iron, the net. Even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Bring the beat back! 65 teams, a common dream, one destination. Non-stop madness, and the exclusive official highlight show of the NCAA tournament. It's everything you need, everything you want, all in one place. Welcome to CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
You've got to step up. Close out all of the pressure. Trust everything you've been taught. And just believe you can do it. You know, my first day on the job sure felt familiar.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
When the names shaping college sports speak this candidly.
In the meantime, I have a job and I bust my tail every day trying to be the best coach that I can be.
Got to be watching 1-to-1. CSTV gets up close and personal with the biggest names in college sports. Tomorrow at 7, Rutgers women's head basketball coach Vivian Stringer, presented by the U.S. Navy. Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live.
The weekend begins on Wednesday. March begins today. We change all the rules here.
Previews, predictions, and analysis of all the week's top basketball action.
We may not know until the tournament starts just how good they are. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm picking Louisville. These are the guys that know their stuff.
Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live. Wednesday nights only on CSTV.
14:48 remaining. There's your score. The Blue Devils lead by a field goal.
Duke with the 1-3-1. Little zone, last sequence, as well as this one.
Quick hands by Johnny Dawkins, and Dawkins making the call and the official paying attention.
Gene Manji really at a disadvantaged position underneath it, but all of a sudden, silly turnovers by Kansas. 3 in a row there, huh?
Kansas with 13 team turnovers thus far. Duke has 10, and Duke has the lead.
Double screen Dawkins.
They look for Dawkins. He finds the open man, Henderson. How about Henderson? Can he play?
Power to the basket. Oh.
Henderson with 20 points.
It's a forwards game, getting back to your question. We're trailing out, a lot of speed, a lot of mobility out there.
Calvin Thompson. Is there any place he doesn't make a shot from?
He's having a heck of a night.
Calvin Thompson with 18. He's 8 for 8 from the floor. Nice move by Amaker, but it just couldn't get away. That's the shot that won the game for Duke on Friday night.
Well, that was good defense, and just that back dribble freed Johnny Dawkins. Quick release.
Dawkins with a dozen.
1-3-1.
Thompson again.
Boy, that penetrating dribble by Hunter put the defense, made it collapse back into the 3-second lane and the dish off.
He's a computer out there tonight, Calvin Thompson. Thompson with 20 points. Allery with a nice move. Manning with the rebound. Oh, fast break of the classic variety, but the charge. Basket will count, and the foul afterwards. King taking the charge, but Calvin Thompson electrifying the crowd off the fast break. He now has hit.
This is a Robin Hood call out. Take from the rich, give to the poor, right? Wipe it out if you want it that way. I'd rather see this score the goal and guys won't step in under the basket. I thought he got there late. Ooh, should have been another 2 free throws. He got there late.
I agree. I agree. The Great Alaska Shootout in the finals. Nevada, Las Vegas leading North Carolina 34-28 at the half. Henderson in the paint.
They've been able, Duke, to get the ball where they want it. If this continues, Duke will be very tough to beat.
Duke by 2 with 12:39 remaining in the second half.
Good lob.
Nice lead to Manning.
Great seal off. Danny Manning in or out, very tough.
They said that this tournament was going to give teams an opportunity to play the best competition before you get into your schedule.
Oh, when in doubt, slam it. He heard the whistle.
Amaker will go to the line.
This is a little...
Thompson has 4 personal fouls.
A little help from upstairs. Kellogg helping too. Bang the glass. That's what it's there for.
Tommy Amaker will go to the free throw line. He had 7 assists against St. John's on Friday night. He can appropriate some passes he learned from Oregon Senator Mark Hatfield when he worked for the Senate Appropriations Committee a couple of summers ago. Amaker with a 3-point play, and Duke has a 3-point lead.
He's had his hands full, though. He's been trying to rag Cedric Cunner. A tough assignment.
We're seeing the 5th and 6th ranked teams in the country, and it could be that way at the end of the year.
Good seal off defensively there.
Almost a good steal by Hunter. How about the return by Amaker?
So it was terrific. It really was. Of course, Dawkins went to the hole. He knew his man was on the floor. He took advantage.
Allery off the pass by Amaker and a foul inside. It could go against Chris Piper, 24.
Now, years ago, when I was at Seton Hall, we played Army, and they were devastating when Mike Krzyzewski was the coach there. They just bang it down, little back screen, little nudge by Dawkins, but boy, did they deliver the ball on time. Great power move there by Allery.
You like the passes inside by Duke, huh?
Well, that's the name of the game, and they've been, you know, so effective the last couple of minutes. When they need a basket, they're getting an easy one.
Allery 11th all time on the Duke scoring list. And he'll go a little higher as the season progresses. 4-point Duke lead. This would match their biggest lead. It does. A 5-point lead for the Duke Blue Devils.
Calvin Thompson and David Henderson continue to have the hot hand, but it's Henderson's club who's gone up by 5. The second half continues when we return on CSTV's Retrovision.
Play ball, shut up and play ball.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket on Selection Sunday. Be there for the one show that takes you deeper into the madness. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
Shut up and play ball.
Catch it live, the Tournament Bound 65. Be the first to know. Watch the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show, 6 Eastern Sunday on CBS.
Now, from Avacor Hair Regrowth, there's today's Avacor. With Boost, that gives you visibly thicker hair with the first application. With today's Avacor, you get twice the benefits.
Thinning hair results from toxic degeneration of the hair follicle. Avacor targets the hair follicle to reverse hair loss, improve blood flow, and stimulate new hair growth.
But don't just take our word for it.
I decided to fight back. I tried Avacor because they give a money-back guarantee. In just 3 months, my hair came back. I was amazed.
Well, I'm 72 years old, and I can tell you honestly, I have a fuller, healthier head of hair now than I did when I was 18 years old. Avacor really worked.
And remember, Avacor Boost will improve your hair's appearance the day you receive your order.
Call now and find out how you can get 3 months of Avacor free with your order. Call 1-800-824-1524. That's 1-800-824-1524. 1-800-824-1524.
More deaths than any other cancer among children under the age of 20. That's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's goal. For more information on how you can help cure blood cancers, leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma, call 1-888-HELP-LLS or visit lls.org. Soccer is about scoring goals. Life is about reaching goals. Help these kids reach theirs. Contact the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society today.
March. It's a whole new season.
You ready? Let's go. 20% skill, 15% concentrated power, 50% pain, 100% reason to
Fouls can play such a big part in the game of college basketball, Bill Rafter, as you well know. And coming down the stretch, there are a couple of players that are a little bit of foul trouble for Kansas, Calvin Thompson and Greg Dreiling.
Of course, they're both important, and what it does puts Danny Manning inside, too. He can't roam the floor.
How about the shooting in the second half? Not too shabby.
Hot. But both getting the ball where they want it, and that makes, you know, the shooting percentages soar.
Well, we were talking during the commercial break about the caliber of play this early in the season. Amazing.
Players are so good. I mean, they're ready October 15th. Other than the nuances of the game.
Here's Kellogg. Dawkins trying to get out of the pack, using his right hand as a shield. Almost committed a backcourt violation.
Of course, the ball didn't cross. He picked that foot up, didn't he?
Like he stepped on hot coals.
Oh, great cut. And Danny Furry, third time tonight he's made an excellent pass to a cutting man.
The big men have been able to pass the ball tonight, and Duke opens up a 7-point lead.
New! Get the best jokes directly on your cell phone. They're hilarious. Write a text message with the word joke to the number 85050 and press send. They're so funny, we will make your sense of humor even better. Impress your friends, make them laugh. Let the joke of the day be your joy of the day. Do it now. Grab your phone and text the message joke to the number 85050.
play ball, shut up and play ball.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket on Selection Sunday. Be there for the one show that takes you deeper into the madness. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
Shut up and play ball.
I was at this party with Jim when he realized his Western wear was drawing the wrong kind of attention. So, to make up for it, he came up with a multi-beer strategy. Basically, it's making your way through a crowd with a couple of Miller High Lifes. Gives people the idea you got something going on. Connections, no matter what kind of hat you wear.
The Duke Blue Devil wants to see Dorothy go back to Kansas. Maybe that's what the real Wizard of Oz looks like.
Larry's got some work, Brown that is, before he goes back to Kansas. And, you know, without trailing, their inside defense hasn't been as effective. And again, getting the ball where they want it. Furry wisely waited, looked around, good cut, the delivery. Billy King with the goal.
Passing has been superb.
It sure has. Kansas looks like they're trying to hammer it in deep now.
Archie Marshall's in the game, Manning on the turnaround.
Every time there's a timeout, you can bet the house. Coaches say, we need a goal, let's go low. They start playing, they forget about it.
5-point lead. Here's Amaker.
Nice pass again.
Good defensive play by the Jayhawks. Piper comes down with a loose ball. They want to run. The lead to Kellogg. The touch to Marshall in the basket.
Good spark now.
Archie Marshall with the basket, and the Blue Devils now find themselves with a 3-point lead. 10-13 remaining, second half. Amaker finding it off his sneak. Then it'll be Kansas ball on the turnover. For Duke, their 11th turnover. As you see, David Henderson, who's become Mr. Electricity for the Blue Devils early on in the season. Henderson with 22 points in the ball game. Less than 10 minutes to play in the second half. Duke in front 64-61. Piper looking for the cut. This is Manning. Takes Ferry in the paint. Followed by Marshall and Allery with the carom.
Just a little bump inside is all they're working.
Ferry with room. Here's Manning, 1-on-2. Cedric Hunter, rather, and the foul is going to be called on Amaker.
You know, Tommy Amaker had Danny Ferry behind him. He really didn't have to make a stand. Very ready to assist his teammate. You can see the use of the dribble here. Great penetration by Hunter, but Ferry waiting at home should have communicated.
Cedric Hunter with 9 assists against Louisville on Friday night. By the way, St. John's beat Louisville by 8 points for 3rd place in the Big Apple Classic earlier tonight. 86-78 was the final. Piper and Marshall. Dreiling is still on the bench in foul trouble with 4. Here's Hunter. And the foul is going to go against Duke.
I think it might be Allery.
If it is Mark Allery, that would be his 3rd. He's kept pretty quiet in the foul area since early on in the ball game. One of the greats of basketball. Ran into him earlier tonight. Arnold Red Auerbach watching the action tonight.
He's won a few games.
Marshall has hit his last 2. Archie Marshall gets Kansas within 1, 64-63 with 8:49 to play.
They'll double for Dawkins out high.
Henderson is the one that kept it alive.
Oh, Henderson took Piper down, then Piper banged him back.
Amaker with room.
Duke just finds people when they're free. Kansas not able to recover it, pick up their own man.
A 3-point lead for the Blue Devils with 8:22 to play in the second half. The alley-oop pass. Manning had it. Now Dawkins comes up with it. A 2-on-1. Amaker with the floater. The follow by Dawkins.
Oh, that's a guard. I thought Amaker should have dished it back. He had his man up in the air, but Johnny Dawkins showing another side of his ability.
Same result. Rather than dish off, he got the rebound. A 5-point Duke lead with less than 8 minutes to play. Here's a steal by Henderson. Hold on to your seat.
He didn't get up as high as he wanted. He's very fortunate.
Henderson with 24. The Blue Devils open up a 7-point lead, their biggest margin. Here's Marshall. Manning right back.
Well, he screened off well. Normally those corner jumpers will come to the opposite side of the rim. Good screen off there by Danny Manning.
Well, Danny Manning has certainly picked up his game, but the Blue Devil offense hasn't slowed down either. 6 members of this Duke team would reach the 1,000-point club during their collegiate careers. Henderson, Amaker, and Jay Billis, who missed this game with a knee injury, all hit the milestone, while freshman Danny Ferry and senior Mark Allery eclipsed 2,000 points. And of course, Johnny Dawkins would graduate as the most prolific scorer in Duke history. More second half action when we return to CSTV's Retrovision.
With great privilege comes great responsibility. My generation felt that as younger people, and it's time for us to feel that again.
Growing up economically challenged, I understand what it means to be destitute. I understand how it feels to be hungry. If you help someone else, it comes around at a time when you might need help.
I like what I do. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. This is a great country. If people were to go ahead and step up to the plate by volunteering or doing something for their fellow man, this country will be greater than it ever was.
Today, our efforts are needed more than ever.
Because as a generation, we do have work to do.
Join thousands by finding which opportunity is best for you.
Lead, inspire, change the world. Again. Call 1-800-424-8867 today or visit www.getinvolved.gov.
For hundreds of years, the game was played by warriors. But it's taken a new generation of warrior to perfect it. This spring on CSTV, experience the perfection of NCAA women's lacrosse. Thursday, March 16th at 7, it's the Spring Fling.
Been a half a streak so far, Billy.
Sure has, and again, that inside game of Duke has put a lot of pressure without drilling in there on the defense of Kansas. Don't have that big obstacle to help out.
When Greg Dreiling went out of the game with 15:43 to play in this half, Duke was ahead by 2. So the absence of Dreiling hasn't meant a whole lot, and he's coming back in the game.
As we speak, I was curious.
Good defense by the Jayhawks. Cedric Hunter now trying to get Kansas within 3 with 7 minutes remaining in the half. Good defensive play by Henderson, doing it at both ends of the floor. The big man comes back into the game, Greg Dreiling.
Once in a while, Danny Manning will snap the basketball a little bit too hard and throw the line drive. If he had bounced that ball softly, Kansas may have had a basket. Playing with 4 now, Dreiling.
Kellogg's jumper and a foul on Johnny Dawkins. Personal on Johnny Dawkins is his 3rd. Make it his 2nd. And Ron Kellogg will go to the free throw line, the All-America candidate. And speaking of All-America candidates, Johnny Dawkins certainly high on everybody's list, but Kellogg had some season last year. He had 5 30-point games. And if you think he's just an offensive player, you'd be wrong. He has 17 tonight. He had 20 against Louisville. He was also on the All-Big 8 defensive team.
Nice prospect. Of course, they need some points from him down the stretch here.
4-point lead for Duke, 70-66 with 6:45 remaining in the second half. Amaker with Thompson. And here's Dreiling. Manning.
Nice delay, though, by Kellogg. Didn't force the issue. Waited for their big man, Danny Manning, that time.
Kansas has cut the lead to 2 with 6:24 remaining. This is King. You keep waiting for them to go to Dawkins, but Henderson, the man with the hot hand tonight. Good move by Henderson. He was going down and they got rid of it to his own man. "13 seconds left on the shot clock. Henderson from long range. The inch when he slipped before it didn't hurt him at all.
May have hurt his leg, not his arm.
A 4-point Duke lead with 5:45 remaining in the second half. Dreiling with everybody cutting, looking for the back door. Almost a great play by Amaker. And here's Hunter. And a foul's going to be called on Cedric Hunter for the charge.
I'll tell you, Cedric Hunter with a pretty good penetration. I think Michael may have gotten away with one, a slide under. Tough call against Kansas. Dreiling almost gets caught in a jump ball, dishes it off. Hunter here now with the dribble. Well, he was there. Easier call than I thought.
So Billy King will go to the free throw line. Mike Krzyzewski, whose team's in front by 4.
Oh, Billy King.
Almost threw out
He struggles from the free throw line. Last year, he only shot 32%.
Here's Calvin Thompson, who's shooting much greater than that tonight. The following tip by the little guy, Cedric Hunter.
Maybe the smallest guy on the floor.
Cedric Hunter at 6 foot even. Gets in among all those redwoods and taps it home. That is his first points of the night, and could not have come at a more opportune moment for Kansas. They bring it within 2. And a foul reaching in on Kellogg.
Well, the spacing by Kansas hasn't been the type that Larry Brown's accustomed to. They're flat. They're letting the man shape up in the lane without getting ahead a step or two.
So Mark Gallery will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2.
Correction, 1-on-1.
Actually, it was a 1-on-1 opportunity, but I knew he was going to shoot 2. Thanks, Mark, for bailing me out. And he makes 2. 74-70 Duke with 5 minutes exactly remaining in the second half.
Does Duke all touch the floor? They want to get down real low this sequence. Switch the exchange outside.
Here's Dreiling.
Nice move.
The big man can turn in the lane.
Be awful tough for Allery to guard Dreiling. Kansas might be wise to dump it into the big guy whenever they can.
Dreiling with 8 points. And he has brought Kansas back within 2 with 4.5 to play. Inside pass and a beauty from Amaker to Henderson.
I have no idea how Tommy Amaker got that through.
You've heard of threading the needle?
He
just did it that time.
He had steam on it.
4-point Blue Devil lead as we approach 4 minutes remaining in the second half. I won't say the game because we may go to OT with this one. Here's Hunter. Back tap by Dreiling.
But they ought to go right into the big guy. Let him work.
Here is said big guy. And the follow by Danny Manning.
Soft enough shot where Manning could follow it up.
It is still a 2-point game now with 3:40 to play. Jockeys back and forth between 4 and 2 Duke lead. Big trip down the floor for the Blue Devils. Amaker with a running one-hander. And the follow by Allery.
Gotta lay a body on him. Duke taking advantage.
3:20 to play now, and Duke in front by 4.
Little zone now. Force Kansas outside if they can.
Manning wants the ball, and Allery blocks the shot.
I actually thought he was trying to pass that ball. When he turned and dumped, I thought he was looking for a cutter.
He wanted the ball badly.
Yeah.
And Duke now going into a variation of 4 corners.
Little delay.
Whatever Phoenix is, that's what Krzyzewski is yelling out. With 12 on the shot clock. I get it. Dawkins is Phoenix. And but by the time Johnny Dawkins gets to Phoenix, he's going to bring Duke a victory.
Well, what clubs are doing, they're running a delay. Of course, Kansas didn't come out and play him. And then they're running their offense late in the 45-second sequence. And here with the great quick feet, Dawkins able to spring himself from the low post out and in traffic, delivering.
Greg Dreiling is fouled out of the ball game, and Archie Marshall, as you see, will come in. Dreiling leads the game with 8 points. With 2:38 to play, and Kansas now trailing by 6. They lose their center. And Dawkins will go to the line with a chance to complete a 3-point play. Dawkins with 16 points, 8 in each half thus far.
Then he was quiet. He was defended well. Didn't force anything, though.
And even when he wasn't getting many shots, he didn't appear to be frustrated.
No, not at all. Win. Name of the game.
6-point Duke lead with 2:28 remaining and counting.
They got a turnover on the defense the last time with the 2-3.
Danny Manning, the All-America, brings Kansas within 4 with 2:10 to play.
Oh, 2-1-2 spread now. Oh, terrible turnover.
Almost a mistake, and good reaction by Billy King.
Boy, Cedric Hunter quick to the basketball.
He is quick. We talked about it at the top of the show about the quickness out on the floor tonight between Amaker and Dawkins and Hunter. You got the Indy 500 going right out here on the Madison Square Garden floor. Here's Allery.
Oh, on the run. Boy, they're doing that well, huh? Going from a delay into their motion.
6-point Duke lead with 1.5 minutes to play. Kellogg with the baseline, throws up a brick, and Henderson comes up with the ball.
Had to make some call there, though. One way or the other.
I would have thought so.
Oh.
Now Kansas may have to start thinking about fouling some people. Dawkins is not the guy you want to foul. The guy you want to foul, King, I would think, would be King.
That's all.
We're coming to 1 minute remaining in regulation time. 15 on the shot clock. And the foul, Cedric Hunter as he fouls Johnny Dawkins.
Almost the only guy you could try. They're going to try and keep the ball away from King, I'm sure. Keep it in the guard's hands or Mark Allery.
Danny Ferry checks back into the ball game. And going to the bench is Billy King. King with 6 points on the night. Mark Turgeon checking back into the Kansas lineup. And Archie Marshall goes out. Kansas going with a smaller lineup.
Now, if you look back, if Duke happens to hang on, which it looks like they will, taking Allery out with the 2 fouls, switching to zone, and saving him. Then going back and gambling, then taking him back out with about 1 minute left in the half. Very smart move by Mike Krzyzewski. Really helped this club hang in there.
83-76 Duke. Duke's looking for its second impressive early season tournament championship in as many years. Last year they won the Trojan Classic in Los Angeles, and they're looking to win another one in as many years.
With 2 pretty good teams.
Duck, coach, duck.
Tommy Amaker slapping it into press row here. That's the way I used to catch him on the break. Jody Sylvester said, nice hands.
That's why he's not coaching anymore. Here's Thompson with a jumper. Ferry with the lead for Amaker, a 2-on-1. Amaker by himself. That should seal it. A 10-point Duke lead with 40 seconds remaining in regulation. Kellogg over Ferry. Basket counts and the foul on Ferry.
Duke really jumps in. Excellent at trying to draw the charge, drive officials crazy with this ability. Danny Ferry trying to set up early here. Kellogg with a good strong move. You can see the motion still. Good call.
And Ron Kellogg will go to the free throw line for a 1-shot foul after making the goal. And the rebound to Allery. Quickly, Manning fouls Allery. 34 seconds remaining in regulation time.
Duke has a True Blue Award, which is for a guy who steps in and picks up the charges. As they check him into an institution at the end of the season with playing in that ACC and trying to get those big bodies to bang into them.
86-78, Blue Devils in front, and Mark Allery to the line, 1-1. Allery with 19 points, 15 of those coming in this half.
Nice player.
16 points in this half.
And he had to play Greg Drailing at times, too. That's not his natural position, that center spot.
Allery with 6 rebounds all in this half. He's had a whale of a second half. Oh, what a night. A lot of players have played outstanding basketball tonight. 10-point Duke lead with 30 seconds remaining. Hunter gets it within 8, and Kansas calls for timeout. 26 seconds remaining in this inaugural Big Apple Classic. It appears to be colored blue. With Devils at the end, they lead by 8.
Play ball, shut up and play ball.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket on Selection Sunday. Be there for the one show that takes you deeper into the madness. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
Outside, it's still winter, but inside, we're busy building DR Field and Brush mowers for spring. There couldn't be a better time than now to call for this free catalog, all about the amazing DR Field and Brush mower. The DR is the easiest way ever to clear overgrown parts of your land. It cuts head-high weeds and grass, and even small trees, up to 2.5 inches thick. We'll include a factory direct savings certificate worth up to $449. Tell you how you can get your mower before the spring rush, not have to make any payments for 6 months, and give you 6 months to put your DR to the test. If you're not 100% satisfied, we'll take it back, and you won't be out a penny.
So call now, 1-800-635-1515 for your free DR catalog, video, factory direct savings, 6-month risk-free trial. Plus, make no payments for 6 months. That's 1-800-635-1515. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
DR is professional power for homeowners.
To the people they love and the things they hold in their hearts. For all of this, it's this simple. We need them. They need us. And we need you. The USO. Until everyone comes home. To find out more about the USO and how you can help, visit USO.org.
Welcome back to CSTV's Retrovision, where the Blue Devils are pulling away and time's running out on the Jayhawks. There's only 26 seconds left, but still enough time for this talented Kansas team to walk away with a W. Let's get back to the world's most famous arena for the conclusion of the 1985 preseason NIT final, right here on CSTV's Retrovision.
Back at Madison Square Garden in New York, Howard David and Bill Raftery, along with Carl Churkin, Steve Gradd, the Sports Bureau, and Larry Brown's team right now is down 8 points. It'll be Duke on the inbound, and a quick foul by Kellogg. Stops the clock with 24 seconds remaining.
Followed by Kellogg. Larry Brown.
There you see. Now, the reason why we're showing you Anderson is because he's been unbelievable. Let me tell you the things that he's done, Bill. I didn't mean to cut you off. He missed his first shot tonight in the first half, then made 6 in a row. Second half, he missed his first shot, and he made 6 in a row.
And, of course, his opponent, Calvin Thompson, you had him for 16 in the first half. They've quieted him down. Duke's done a good job. He's only 8 points this half, if I'm not mistaken.
Calvin Thompson has cooled off, but how do you not cool off after the first half he had? Thompson had 16 points at halftime. He has 22 in the game. And Johnny Dawkins has put some more offense together in the second half. He now has 20 points. Same formula as Friday night against St. John's. Turgeon's jumper is off the mark. Hunter with the rebound puts it right back up and in. And a quick timeout called for by Kansas. 90-82 Duke with 19 seconds remaining in regulation time.
Retrovision on CSTV is brought to you by Miller. There's good enough, and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
I was at this party with Jim when he realized his Western wear was drawing the wrong kind of attention. So, to make up for it, he came up with a multi-beer strategy. Basically, it's making your way through a crowd with a couple of Miller High Lifes. Gives people the idea you got something going on. Connections. No matter what kind of hat you wear.
Gallery to trigger the inbound, and he gets it to Henderson. They burn off about 6 seconds worth of clock, 12 seconds remaining.
Going to give it a two-shot, Howard.
It's an intentional foul on Manning. So David Henderson will go to the free throw line. Henderson with 28 points, 14 in each half. Because he had a night.
David Henderson, tough player, very good low post player too.
Played for Mike Krzyzewski in the National Sports Festival on the gold medal winning South team. Oh, and it's going for you. It goes for you.
Then teetered.
91-82 Duke. Henderson with 30 points, 3 assists and 3 steals to add to the collection. Might as well let Hunter go. Why foul him? Put it up and in. 92-84, the quick timeout by Larry Brown. Kansas now within 8, but I think it's too little too late. There's only 8 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, they called it center right out. That's their last one.
Allery looking to trigger the inbound and does to Dawkins. Steal by Manning. And that's the last points of the game. Duke comes away with a 92-86 win.
So the Blue Devils pull off the 92-86 victory, flexing their offensive muscles with 55 second-half points. Danny Manning came alive, and Calvin Thompson continued to have the hot hand, but it wasn't enough, as Duke seniors Mark Allery and David Henderson put the team on their shoulders and led the way to victory. I mentioned before about this game being a precursor for the rest of the year. Kansas went on to have one of its finest seasons, setting a school record for wins with 35. They won 16 in a row heading into the Final Four of the 1986 NCAA tournament. Standing in their way was none other than the Duke Blue Devils, who had lost just 3 times that year and were winners of 20 straight. Duke prevailed in the rematch 71-67, sending Coach K and the Blue Devils to the national championship game. They would lose 72-69 to another team from the preseason NIT that year, the Louisville Cardinals. Thanks for watching CSTV's Retrovision. I'm Billy Baldwin.
Catch it live, the Tournament Bound 65. Be the first to know. Watch the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show, 6 Eastern Sunday on CBS.
More college hockey than any other network. Go ahead, watch your face-off. NCAA hockey, every Friday on CSTV. March. It's a whole new season.
You ready? Let's go. 20% skill, 15% concentrated power, 50% pain, 100% reason to
Welcome to the Fieldhouse in New York. I'm Adam Zucker. Hope you enjoyed the short shorts on our Retrovision game between Duke and Kansas from 1985. Up next, we're on the ice with the men's CHA championship. But first, these reminders. It's a big day in basketball. Tune in to CBS tonight at 6 for the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. See the bracket for the very first time and get in-depth analysis from the experts. And don't forget to tune in tonight at 7 for the Crystal Ball Selection Special. Join the Crystal Ball gang as they dig deeper than anyone else in breaking down all the top seeds and possible bracket busters. Don't miss 1 second of the madness this Selection Sunday. And join me and four-time All-American Angela Ruggiero as we show you who's in and who's out of the Division I Women's Hockey Tournament. Tonight at 8:45 Eastern, we'll reveal the brackets and talk with the chair of the selection committee tonight at 8:45. And that's all for now from the Fieldhouse in New York. Up next, the men's CHA championship between Bemidji State and Niagara. We'll see you back here at intermission.
In 2003, it was all Wayne State. They won the CHA title and a tournament appearance in the NCAA. But it was Colorado College that was a little more than they could chew. 2004, how about the Purple Eagles? A game winner in overtime before a matchup with Boston College, who soared just a little higher. Last season, Bemidji State, they won the crown. But it was the Beavers that gave Denver a scare before falling to the two-time champs in overtime. One team's about to get another shot. We're next.
Thank God it's
Purple Nation has made it to Detroit. Here comes the #1 seed, Purple Eagles of Niagara. Decked out in their road greens, they come in, the Beavers of Bemidji State. CSTV welcomes you to Detroit. An automatic berth to the NCAA tourney is on the line. It's the Purple Eagles of Niagara taking on the Beavers of Bemidji State. And welcome in, everybody. Matt McConnell with you from Detroit. Our big day of the CHA tourney continues right here on CSTV, and we think we've got a matchup that everybody's going to like. Up and down the ice they go. Let's take a look at the brackets and see how both of these teams got here. For Niagara, they took out Robert Morris, the 4 seed. Bemidji State, they got by Alabama Huntsville here last night. So Niagara and Bemidji State, the top 2 seeds in the tournament. And we bring in our analyst, Dave Starman. Dave, I got to ask you, is this the matchup? I mean, it's been close all weekend, but is this the matchup you were looking for?
Oh, I'm not so sure that this is the matchup anybody could have predicted, because you saw Robert Morris was the 4 seed. Nobody wanted to play Robert Morris. Huntsville, you throw them into the mix. It was a tiebreaker that gave Bemidji the #2 seed. And talking about Bemidji, this is a team that last year scared Denver to death, and it'll be their 4th consecutive appearance. That's the CHA record. Here in the title game, they're an experienced team. Niagara's an interesting team because they can score. Their top 6 scorers over a point a game. They come in hot. Had a big game yesterday. If you're going to look at Niagara and look at some things to watch for, watch them to try to control the tempo of this game. They're very good at it.
Dave, we are joined today by Ellen Weinberg. She is the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, and she's downstairs standing by with both head coaches.
Thanks, Matt. And Coach, for you, you played the late game. It went into overtime. Only a short 15-hour turnaround. Will that affect your team today?
You know what? You hope not. I mean, physically it might a little bit, but there's so much at stake right now. The mental side of it hopefully will take care of itself.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, and on the other side of the ice, Coach, for you, you won 6 out of your last 7 to capture the title. Do you have momentum coming into the final here today?
Well, we're finding a way to get it done, and it's been different every game, different players stepping up. So, you know what, we're a really confident team coming in here. Obviously, Bemidji's one of the top programs that we've played all year. We have a lot of respect for their team and how they play the game. So I think it's going to be a great college hockey game.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's go back upstairs. Matt?
Ellen, they began preparation for this championship game last October. Today, they look for those long hours of practice to pay off. A dance ticket is about to be stamped. Who will win out? We'll know shortly. The CHA Men's Championship next.
Play ball, shut up and play ball.
Get ready for the upsets and the blowouts as CSTV breaks down the bracket on Selection Sunday. Be there for the one show that takes you deeper into the madness. Crystal Ball Selection Special, tonight at 7, only on CSTV, Championship Central 2006.
Shut up and play ball.
Two sisters with nothing in common.
You bought a dog? No, I borrowed him. Truce.
Are about to search for Mr. Right in all the wrong places.
How would you ladies like to join us for something wet?
Get ready for a smart and sexy comedy.
Chewing gum?
No one will notice.
What happened to your heel?
Cameron Diaz, Toni Collette, and Shirley MacLaine.
This place just keeps getting better and better.
In her shoes.
What happens when bitter rivals make it personal? What happens when two enemies come face to face? pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, undefeated and pound for pound the best in the world. Zab Super Judah, explosive, powerful. His back's against the wall and he's never been more dangerous. Mayweather versus Judah, sworn enemies to the bitter end. Saturday, April 8th, live on Dish Network pay-per-view. Don't miss Mayweather versus Judah, live on Dish Network pay-per-view.
Quick, in the top 5 water polo players in the world. Okay, how about 1? Yeah. I didn't start playing water polo to get famous. And the same goes for being a biology major. I like working in protein chemistry. Quick, in the top 5 protein chemists in the world.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
This special edition of Friday Night Hockey on CSTV is brought to you by New Gillette Fusion, the best shave ever in manual and battery power. We welcome you back to Detroit. A great look at the Detroit River and the Bemidji State Beaver fans here in attendance at the State Fairgrounds Coliseum. Let's go in the crease. It's presented by Gillette Fusion, starting with the Bemidji State netminder. That is Lane Settevy, with a 2.40 goals against average and a .917 saves percentage. Great in the semifinal. And at the other end for Niagara, it'll be Jeff Van Nijnutten. .913 saves percentage and a .324 goals against average. For Bemidji State, behind the bench, Tom Serratori. He's a 1987 grad of Bemidji State. This is his 5th season as the head coach of the Beavers. And Dave Burkholder, the head coach for Niagara, 10th season. Dave Burkholder says, we're not going to change anything. We're just going to continue on the path that we have had success with all season long. Funny how those things happen. Kevin Hall, the assistant, is Chili Davis, along with TJ Likens. And we are set. Men's championship of the CHA underway. Niagara and Bemidji State, the winner of this one, gets an automatic bid to the NCAA. And early on, Settevy forces a face-off inside the Bemidji zone. The key line day for Bemidji State. Let's take a look.
This is a line that works really hard, and they get a lot done. Erickson on the wing gives them a good goal-scoring presence, as does Ryan Miller in the middle. Huddy is a good bump and grinder who can also chip in offensively. But if you look at the work ethic of Miller, you see why this line is so successful.
Big numbers put up there as the puck is played into the corner. We expect really a wide-open affair. Niagara's not a team that likes to trap. They just go at it. Maybe similar to Colorado College if you've watched them on television before. Big hit in the corner that time by Riley Wesolowski. And we'll get a puck flipped over the glass and out of play. We saw the key line for Bemidji State. Dave, what about Niagara?
This is a good line yesterday. It's been a good line for them all season, and it's powered by a couple of freshmen between Rainey and Cook. And you look at the record-setting seasons that both of those freshmen have had. They've set records in the CHA for rookie offensive proficiency, and Benevolio on the wing can get you a big goal whenever you need it.
Well, Benevolio's the only non-freshman on that trio. We always talk about the future, Dave, and Niagara. Well, they've had some close calls in the tournament, but the future. I mean, 2 of your top 3 scorers are going to be around for another 3 years.
Yeah, he's the only guy on the line that can grow a beard.
Over the line, and fanning on the shot was Benevolio, and now the puck is played away. Kept at the line nicely before Niagara will chip it right back to center. How do these 2 teams match up as Les Rainey will bring it in? Rainey with a shot, and that goes over the top of the net. How does Niagara match up, in your opinion, against Bemidji?
I think they match up very well. It's funny because, you know, some of the coaches you talk to in the CHA say Bemidji's a really good team. They're a composed team and a poised team, but a matchup with Niagara can give them a hard time because of the way Niagara can control the tempo of a game, especially through the neutral zone.
And the Beavers will bring it along, decked out in their road green. Shot taken that time over the top of the net by Schwartzbauer. Clean in behind the net. Well, Niagara looking to settle it down. Good job, Scott Langdon, the sophomore out of Ancaster, Ontario, loses the puck.
This is where Bemidji is the better team, and that is down low underneath the circles. Their cycle game is great.
Comes to the front, that's knocked away. Good flip along by Ryan Miller, trying to protect the front of the goal. And the puck is played away, and out of the zone it goes. Right back to center ice and dumped deep inside the zone. Kyle
Rogers, Erie, Pennsylvania native, dumping it in, and the Beavers will look to set it up in behind goaltender Lane Sedevin.
Jake Bloom, by the way, of Bemidji State, came off the ice early on that shift. He got hit in the corner out of that cycle and went to the back of the bench and went back hard. So he might be a little bit in trouble. Keys to the game for Bemidji. A couple things to look for that they need to be successful on. One, they want to push the tempo. We mentioned Niagara control team. They want to get it up tempo, and their low corner game I just mentioned is the best in the CHA, and that is where they want to win their hockey games. For the Purple Eagles of Niagara, control the pace of the game, and their power play has put up goose eggs the last 3 games. Their head coach, Dave Burkholder, told me yesterday, he told me again this morning, if our power play doesn't start clicking, it could be a whole lot harder than it should be.
And Dave, what about Bemidji? Got to bring up a point right away, top of the show here. Ellen Weinberg talked to Tom Serratore about it. A quick turnaround. I mean, Bemidji was on the ice till about 10:30 in that win last night.
And I like Serratore's answer. Bottom line is this. It's still a game. You're still going to do the same things. I mean, yeah, maybe your biorhythms are off, but the emotion and the adrenaline is going to carry you for a while.
And this has moved along, and we'd like to welcome our viewers this afternoon that are watching across Canada on the NHL Network. An automatic bid on the line. Bemidji State or Niagara. One of the two is going to go to the postseason as we head towards the NCAA Frozen Four. Over the line it goes. Into the zone. Shot out. Oh, stop that time. Erickson with a great look in front for Bemidji. And Niagara will play it away.
That was a great setup by Blaine Jarvis from in front of the bench. He picked it up clean on his backhand on a hard rim around and then found his teammate breaking down the ice. Jarvis was great last night. He'll be a key factor today.
Kept to the line this time and holding on to it. Playing it around the boards. In behind the net. Erickson lost it. Played down low. Ryan Huddy had a big game last night in that win by Bemidji State. And now it's out of the zone. Back to center ice.
Niagara's done a nice job, I think, in the last couple of shifts when the puck was down low of chipping it up quickly. Their support game down low has been good.
Manson has it for Niagara. Broken up. Oh, what a breakup play that time by the Beavers defense. Centering play broken up perfectly by Dave Dieterle. And it's played right back into the zone. Great pace, Dave. We thought we'd see it. Puck goes down the length, icing the call. We played 4 minutes and 5 seconds. And already Bemidji and Niagara exchanging chances here in Detroit.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever, in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Wait, check this, right? 3 million drivers switched to Geico last year, yeah? I'm telling you this. Why? Well, because I want you to help spread the word. Bloke hears that number, he's quite impressed. He's like, 3 million? That's a lot of people. Why wasn't I invited? Then you're like, of course you're invited. So he stops by geico.com and he gets his free rate quote. OK, sure, all right, it's not a real party, it's a website, but at least now the fella's done his homework.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back, everybody, to Detroit. We've got some CHA championship trivia. Ron Mason holds the record for all-time coaching victories with 924. We want to know who is number 2 on that list. We'll have the answer a little bit later on.
That's Ron Mason getting his plug.
Athletic director at Michigan State off the face-off, and this one's scooped up by Lane Sedevin.
You know, one of the players on Niagara's team that's really a leader is Randy Harris. Our Ellen Weinberg spoke with him yesterday. Great story, Ellen.
Oh, Randy Harris is just a tremendous story. He's a player that struggled throughout his career with breathing, and he actually took a medical leave. He was gone for 3 years from this program, never knowing if he was ever going to be able to play again. He had some surgery done, and they were able to diagnose him with some problems, and he came back. He applied for a 6-year from the NCAA, and he was granted that wish, and it's just a tremendous story. He was on this freshman team that went to the NCAAs, and to be able to finish off and cap his career 7 years later, to be able to go back to the NCAAs would just be tremendous.
And you know what? The first game back after 3 years, he scored a couple of goals against Clarkson in the opening game for Niagara this season.
And you know what, Dave? It took you 7 years to get through Hartford. You didn't even have a medical redshirt, did you?
I was the 14-year sophomore. It's a whole different world.
Nathan Schwartzbauer around on right wing. Soriano can't get it out. Good forecheck that time by Randy Harris of Niagara. Puck played out front. Turnover. Chance right at the doorstep. Sedemy shuts it down for the Beavers.
And Sirianni got pinched on the right side wall. And that pass came up the middle. And the last thing you want to do against a prolific offensive team is throw the puck through the middle. And that's what happened here. And the end result, Sedemy has to make a big save. Sirianni recovered pretty well, and he beat his man back to the net, which is really your job when you're coming off the wall. But use the glass, use the walls, eat it when you have to. Don't go up the middle.
Flipped out of there by Shane Holman to center. Niagara again forcing it back inside the Bemidji State zone. It has been a tournament, Dave, up-tempo every single game. The pace has been absolutely incredible. This is a league, in my opinion, that is really built on speed. There's some excellent goaltenders as well. Bemidji State and Niagara, no score. We played a little more than 5 minutes here in this opening period from the State Fairgrounds Coliseum in Detroit.
It's also a conference which will have some older players. Your freshmen will be maybe 19, 20 years old at times. You get a group of kids who might have had to play that extra year or two of junior coming out of high school. So you get some battle-tested, older, veteran freshman kids. By the time they're juniors and seniors, they're pretty complete people.
Purple Eagle get it right back in. This one's covered up by Sedemy, and he'll hold on. Physical, Dave, how about it? We've had a little bit of everything in this one.
Yes, they have. And when you're playing in a championship game, you want to create tempo. You want to establish yourselves. Like a football team, you want to establish the run. As a hockey team, you want to establish your physical game, especially on the walls. And both teams, these are two teams, Matt, you know it. They're not shy about throwing the body around. They're both big clubs. And Niagara, their mantra the last couple of years was to get bigger. And boy, they got a big, nasty defense, and they like to hit.
11 hits in the first 5 minutes and 35 seconds of this opening period. Championship Sunday in the CHA. Our congratulations to the Mercyhurst women who defeated the Purple Eagle, or women of Niagara, in our opening game here on CSTV. Mercyhurst is off to the women's NCAA tournament. We know that. Niagara finishes their season. Gallant effort today by Niagara, but they came up short in a 6-2 defeat. It was a one-goal game for most of the day. Now Rocco, and it's played right back in.
You know, talking about the hits factor here, you take a look at the centermen on Niagara. They got three guys that are over 6 foot between Rainey, Caruana, and Rogers. I mean, they got three big centers.
Play to the front. Bemidji State tries to get something going. That's before Les Rainey will dump it all the way back to the Bemidji blue line. Textbook defensive play that time, but well, let's see. They're going to, Kevin Hall, the referee, is going to whistle both players to the penalty box. It looked like a pretty good stand-up play by Riley Wesolowski of Bemidji State.
Yeah, they got to get tied up and probably a little too friendly with each other, and Kevin Hall thinks the better of it and sends them both off for a breather. Interesting moment in the game in terms of the officiating. How's the game going to get called? Kevin Hall has let them play, I think, throughout the entire tournament. That has been the mantra of the officials. They have let the kids decide the game. Penalty calls have, there are games where there have been a few. I think the calls have been warranted. The officials in this tournament have really, really been good, and it deserves to be stated.
Sullivan's shot stopped by Sedemy. We go 4-on-4 for the next couple of minutes. Sullivan again. Chance in front. Oh, and it deflected up the stick of Sedemy, and we'll get a whistle. This is Championship Sunday for these two teams. And another good look.
Play goes to the net, and a good shot from the point here. Watch the goaltender Sedemy as he's closing up on the tip. Now, when you get traffic going to the front of the net, if you're the goaltender, you want to come off that post a little bit if you can, and he was on his way out. It happened so quick so that you can close up the distance between the tip and the net, decreasing the area that the puck can find its way around you. If you're right on top of the tip, puck has nowhere to go but inside you.
Bemidji State decked out in the green, got it to center. Now Niagara, which is the purple and white combination out on the ice, will play it back to center.
Sorry, Matt. By the way, something to keep an eye on here. You know, Rob Sirianni had that turnover a couple of moments ago where he threw the puck up the middle of the ice. And don't forget, he scored the overtime game winner last night. He and Tom Serratori on the bench just had some words, and he's now at the end of it.
Miller, his shot deflected. Sullivan in behind the net for Niagara. He'll give it off to Rainey. Now it's stripped away. Keep an eye on that story, Dave, that you just mentioned. Bit of a developing story on the Bemidji State bench as the puck is played, and Niagara will get it out. Rainey let it go that time. He was in a line change, and so Bemidji State will play it in the neutral zone. Over the line it goes. Gervais got it to the front. Oh, and sent over the top of the net by Shane Holman.
What a pass by Gervais.
And Holman had a wide open look. As it's turned the other way, Harris, Niagara, shot, stop, rebound. Sedevy got the second one as well.
Sedevy's good with his stick on those scrambles. He's real strong at knocking pucks away, and he's got the strength in his arms to battle another stick, chopping away at pucks.
Well, a backhander by Holman, never made it to the net. Loose puck, and it's cleared. Right back to center ice, and a lead pass for Matt Allen. Over the line, sent on, stopped that time. Excuse me, that was Matt Carolina. Now Pope the other way, into the zone. Pope, backhander, right on. Boy, they just go up and down the ice. Not exactly a couple of trapping teams. You got to love Bemidji's spunk early, considering that late night last night in the semifinals.
Well, you wonder why Huntsville ran out of gas when they were up 3-1 early in the third period. They ran out of gas because Bemidji never stopped. And Huntsville did, and when Bemidji got that game to 3-2, you could absolutely see the wheels coming off the Huntsville Express, and they just fell apart as the game went on.
This one's cleared out of the zone, and it's played right back down, and we'll get an icing call. Plenty of action early, even though we don't have a score. Plenty of scoring chances, including the Beavers right in front.
Time now for the HBCU Athlete of the Week, presented by the U.S. Navy. When Grambling State's top scorer Breon Rush broke a bone in his foot, it looked like all hope for a postseason run was lost. Sophomore guard Andre Ratliff has stepped up and put the Tigers on his back. Since Rush went down, Ratliff has averaged 16.2 points per game, more than 3 points above his season average. He has scored at least 13 points in each of his last 5 games, and with his help, the Tigers are poised to make a run in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Tournament. Ratcliffe is your HBCU Athlete of the Week.
I joined the Navy because I had a plan. I wanted to work for myself.
The Navy taught me the discipline I needed to achieve that goal.
It gave me the strength, body, and mind.
And the knowledge to get ahead.
It was the building block for my success. Today, I own my own business.
The Navy gave me more than just a strong foundation.
It gave me the courage I needed to find the person in me.
Navy, accelerate your life.
No score, Bemidji State, Niagara. We go downstairs to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks. I'm joined by Steve Richmond, a scout for the Washington Capitals. And Steve, who are you out here looking at here today?
Well, just looking at free agents. You know, nowadays players come from all over the place, and we just want to make sure that we're, you know, covering every stone and making sure we know who's out there, who's available, and find a diamond in the rough, and that's why I'm here.
You talk about diamond in the rough. Everybody can spot the superstar. What are some things that have impressed you out here thus far?
Well, obviously the intensity and the passion these kids play with, and all of college hockey is like that. They just play so hard and love the game so much, and you can see it in their face and their play. It's nonstop action, and that's what's impressive about college hockey.
When you talk about the passion, how about the tempo? Just crazy at the collegiate level.
Yeah, you know, because they only play about 40 games a year and they only play on weekends, so they have all week to get built up and all jacked up and excited. And especially now in the finals here, they come out and they go as hard as they can for 60+ minutes, as long as it takes, and it's nonstop.
Thanks for joining us. Get back to work. Let's go back up top, Matt.
Wow, Ellen's tough, Dave. How about that? Get back to work, Steve Richmond.
That's pretty gutsy, considering how tough Steve Richmond was during his NHL career.
Well, we have a little bit of a delay here, and they're doing some ice repair down in front of Lane Sedevy, and there's some numbers to look at. Bemidji State losing in the face-off war so far. Shots also favoring Niagara.